Hello everyone and welcome to Console Speed Tier 3. My name is Thomas and next to me should be Lewis, but he's having some technical difficulties. But we're here for the season opener, Console Speed Season 6, and the Tier 3 boys are gonna kick it off here around Spain, Catalonia, Barcelona. Yeah, like we said last week, we're really looking forward to it. It's such a competitive field for the AU3 guys, and I just can't wait for this season to kick off. A lot of new names, a lot of old names as well, some replacements, some reserve drivers, but all good undergoing and a full grid, which is probably most important. Lewis is here. Welcome, mate. Happy you're in the commentary box with me. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks. It's great to be back. It was, I don't know what happened there. I've never had that before. Apologies, party chat wasn't working, but a simple reboot of the PlayStation and we're all go. Yeah, it's great. I'm so glad that we get to kick off Contest Speed Season 6.
Oh yes, definitely. And such a good track as well, Spain. It always provides some good racing. It's not the most easy track to make overtakes around, but it should be all good, especially with the two DRS zones as well applied to this track. Currently on board with Ricky. He struggled a little bit in pre-season, but he should be good for this week's race. He didn't put in any practice for Zandvoort last week, but he certainly has put some practice in for Spain this week, so we will probably see him at the top of the field. A little bit of housekeeping. First of all, just Chris, he is new in the Williams. He replaced JJ Byrne. He dropped down to AU4, and we have I Am John in the Racing Point. He's replacement for Sneaky Tom. Currently in Console Speed we got a new reserve system. The people from AU4 can replace in AU3, AU3 in AU2, and AU2 in AU1, and the same goes on for the America tiers. So that is why I Am John is now in the Racing Point. Other than that, I think we're all good. We mentioned everyone last week, and yeah, like I said before, really looking forward how this race is going to turn out.
Yeah, we got 20. We got the full. How many? Is it 21? We got 21 races. It's the full season this year.
Yeah, full calendar. So definitely a long season ahead of us.
Yeah, that's it. We got a proper season this time, not the shortened season due to the obviously a change of game. F1 2020 is now. It's the new game for us to use from this season onwards, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who's got a head start, who feels like they've got the edge early on in this game. I know people have got a good 4 weeks now to get used to this, but Tier 3 looks like it's going to be super close. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how this race goes on, and obviously the big changes from this game from the last is ERS not now having an overtake button. In some ways it sounds more simple, but in other ways I find it's quite hard to save, or it's harder to save the ERS on certain tracks, and I think Spain is one of those where if you do abuse the ERS it's very hard to save it again, so you've got to be a bit strategic, and that's going to be a really interesting aspect for this season.
Definitely, yeah, the ERS is a lot harder to manage now, where it was just lean through or none through the corners and actually overtake on the straight. You now actually have to work with a button. Yeah, normally you would say that's much easier, but it uses so much of the battery when you press that overtake button that you need to be careful when and when not to use it. It can be used as an overtake button, it can be used to defend. So yeah, we will see people using it in a lot of different ways, and we'll be very interested to see how everyone is gonna manage the ERS as well, because probably at the end of the race we will see people with very low and very high ERS, and it will be very interesting to see how that will turn out. Currently on board with Profotus, he dropped down from Tier 2 last season, and he will definitely be eager to impress here in the Tier 3 grid, and definitely will be trying to get up to grips. He ran out of ERS just before the line, but it should be all good, and it's a 117.7 now for Profotus, and that puts him up into P7.
Yeah, the ERS it's so OP, that overtake button. You gain so much. When I first played this game and the overtake button was on, I felt like I was driving a jet, not an F1 engine in terms of the difference. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Because it's very hard at the beginning to just save it when you've got all the people around you and you wanted to try and get track position. But the other thing interesting with this race, who's going to go on softs and who's going to go on mediums, because obviously the medium runners get to go on the one stop. I feel as though the one stop is the better option. It's the faster. In that practice race just then we had earlier, I felt perhaps the medium was better, but perhaps other people feel track position and having clear air doing the two stopper isn't much different. I mean, if there was a safety car, two stops probably would be a useful thing to do, but at a certain point of the race. But yeah, so far a few people have done softs. Dan, Matty, Robbo, Ricky, they've decided their tyre choices for softs. But who will go out the medium?
Yeah, I'm currently on board with Jizzy, and he is onto the soft tires, and he had a purple sector 1, so he's looking really solid to maybe put it up into pole position for now. Currently Dan is on a 1:15.7. Is Jizzy gonna improve on that? No, he's not, because he runs wide going into the technical sector 3, and that's his lap invalidated. For the people who are not familiar with this game, the track limits are very strict at the start of this game. Running wide, only a millimeter is gonna invalidate your lap time. If you gain time or not, it doesn't matter. So yeah, these guys will definitely struggle with those track limits. We will definitely see a lot of penalties in the race as well, and especially for the guys who want to qualify on that medium tire, they need to be careful that they at least put some lap time in, because otherwise it will be starting from the back. Talk about medium tires, that's Robert with 1:15.6, which is a brilliant lap time on those mediums.
Yeah, great lap time, and he was quick in the practice race, to be fair. Me and him had a good battle. Towards the end though, he just couldn't quite have the same pace on the hard tyre, but yeah, very strong on the medium. I noticed he was very quick on the medium tyre in that first part of the race, and showing it, that setup he's got hooks really well those compounded tyre. 1:15.6 stellar lap. Real. So, I mean, Rage Snipes, he's the other one on the soft, medium so far, in the top 5, and then it's Muzza, Connell and Justin. I expect those guys, since they have done their lap time on the mediums, to come out. Well, then saying that, Muzza's just going out again on the mediums, so maybe with you select harder allocation, do you get 2 sets of mediums?
No, unfortunately not. With the harder tire, it only changes the tires for the race, so you will still get 3 soft set and 1 medium set, even though you select the harder allocation. So yeah, that really is a big change in a negative way, I would say, on this game, and that's why we will see people going out on softs and then going into the pits again, or at least backing out on their quick laps, because they want to get ready for those medium tires.
Yeah, a lot of people, the fact that a lot of people haven't gone out yet or have only just gone out says a lot about the fact that I think we're going to see a majority of people doing medium runs towards the end of this session. Like I said, I feel it's a little bit closer in this game than the previous games. They're 2 stop to the 1, but the hard tyre is so durable. Once you get on that hard tyre, you have no issues with wear whatsoever. You can go forever. So the 1 stopper, I think, is going to be, but it's those people that want to get that track position. And if you get a situation where you have 10 guys running on the softs, qualifying the top 10, and those guys in the mediums are going to struggle. You know, the guys who start at the front have that track position and a bit of a gap from the initial first few laps. So
yeah, definitely.
You got to monitor it. Oh, I've seen Pure Blades had a crash. Oh, Blades, I caught him. He's currently, I think he was able to not get any damage, but lost the rear end coming out of turn 3. Managed to avoid hitting the barrier, but then he lost it again. And slid to the outer side rather than the inside, so that's a wrecked set of softs. I'm sure he'll go in the pits and try again.
Yeah, it's not going well for Pure Blades at this point in qualifying, but he's still got 6 minutes and 50 seconds to go, so he's got enough time to set another lap time. Currently on board with Swag, as he is in the Red Bull on those medium tires, trying to get at least inside the top 10 to have that advantage. Let's see what he can do. Keeps it nice and steady. Now onto the fast right-hander, which is almost flat out on this game. On the softs it is, on the mediums you maybe can go flat out, but then you definitely have balls of steel. As it shows purple sector 2. Don't know if that is representative or not. He's got a Renault in front of him. Hopefully it doesn't get into his way. But it's looking like a solid lap time for the Red Bull driver as he goes through the final chicane now onto the last corner. He doesn't run wide, which is fair enough. Onto the straight. DRS is open and he puts in a 116.3, currently P9 for the Red Bull driver.
Yeah, not bad, super close, but to be fair, yeah, down at that 115.5. It's a very good lap time down there, getting in now provisional pole. And obviously I know for the softs, but for tier 3, that's going to be a struggle to beat that lap time on those softs. A lot of guys have done medium runs now. Trying to see if anyone else. You've got Cygate Blades, Raycon. Raycon is out now. Raycon is on a hot lap on his medium tyres. He's just about to end sector 2. Sector 2 is a 54.24. You've got the final sector here. Very different from the rest of the lap, especially because of this modification in the last set of corners. Used to be such fast sweeping those second to last and final corners, but now this left and right hand chicane really tight and then blast it through the final corner. It looks like it's going to be a 116. No, it's a 117.
Yeah.
So not a quick lap.
I saw Raycon struggling going into the final chicane. He was sort of debating on whether to steer in already, and then he had to correct himself, and eventually he had to take the bump as well on the inside for the right-hander, which is not ideal, and that puts him in P14 on those mediums. With 4 minutes to go, I think he still got time enough to go back into the pits and maybe put on a set of softs, as the mediums are definitely not going to be it for him. Let's see who's currently on for a quick lap. Is it Profodes? I think he is, because he is pushing. No, he's not. I think he just ended his lap. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the best thing to do is looking at it is the guys who have done their lap time in the mediums the right way. In that higher 10, 9, 8 minutes to go, get your mediums, see where you are in the pack. And if you're outside the top 10 or near, 9th, 10th places, then you think, well, okay, I've got the speed to get high enough, go on the soft to get that grip position. But it's one of those really. If you know you've got the pace, and obviously you can afford to run the medium, you can put the medium on at the end of quali. But some of these guys, it is useful just to do the medium a little bit, not as your last run. Give it a bit of time so that you can, if need to, do a run on those softs if you feel so, like Raycon's situation. You're at P14 right now.
Yeah, definitely.
You might as well put the softs on and get yourself further on the field.
Yeah, this is the point where Raycon needs to realize that the mediums are not gonna work this time, and Ray actually needs to put on the softs to get inside the top 10, which is definitely where he wants to be. I'm currently on board with Steve as he is going into sector 3 now, onto the difficult and tactical chicane, but he manages it really well. And now on to start finish. Let's see where he can put that black Mercedes on the grid. It's gonna be P7 for Steve. Well done. 115.9. That's a good lap time from Steve. You will be happy with that one.
Yeah, 1,000th of a second behind Ricky. Yeah, that black Mercedes looking very good, I must say. And Steve getting a very good result. Obviously his Achilles heel last year, or last season with the old game, was the races though. And can he, it's a much better quali, but can he also get the race perfected?
Yeah, but the thing for him was because he qualified it outside of the top 10 as well, it's always harder to get a clean race. If you're starting up front, there's less people to care about, there's less people around you, more clean air in front, and it's easier to stay out of trouble. If you're in the pack, in the middle, especially the first couple of laps, it's really easy to lose a bit of your front wing, get spun, all those kind of things. So with him being up there in P7, he is around the quicker guys, and maybe because he is around those guys, he can actually match up with them and get along.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Currently going on board with Matty Robots. He is about to start, which will probably be his final run for today's session. The Alfa Romeo driver will definitely be looking to challenge his teammate for P1, and together they will be challenging for the Constructors' Championship for sure. Then currently with 115.5 in P1, he definitely will be happy with that one and maybe even on for an improvement. But now, Matty Robo onto the end of Sector 1, he is a 10th quicker than his last lap. He still needs to improve 2 tenths more to get in front of his teammate. Let's see how well he is gonna negotiate Sector 2 onto the uphill chicane. Really easy to invalidate your lap here, but he stays really nicely onto the apex. Fast right-hander, doesn't invalidate, doesn't run wide. This can actually be a really solid lap for Matty Robo in the Alfa Romeo. He's doing a really good job, 2.5 tenths up on his lap time. Now going into Sector 3, over the bump into the right-hander and then onto the technical section of Sector 3. Last chicane to negotiate. Oh, got a little bit onto the bump. Well, his exit is good. It looks really good. Ran out of DRS open onto the line. Big improvement, 115.1.
That was a mega final sector. He gained 6 tenths on his previous best. He was only 2 tenths up at the start of that third sector. But I know he took a big bump in that front, but it worked. It didn't unsettle the car. It was beautifully, it helped it turn. And then the second part, it just nice. It was the best way he wanted to go. And Matty, with what could be his first pole position, he has to be fair to him.
Look at
Dan. Good from the beginning.
Look at Dan, by the way. Here it comes.
No, it's not enough.
115.3. It's not enough.
Yep. So the Alphas are 1 and 2, but Matty, from the very get-go of this game, has looked much more competitive. Well, not much more competitive, but more competitive than he did on the 2019 game. He instantly seemed to be reasonably quick. So I feel like this game suits his driving style, and he's come along quite a bit in the last couple of seasons. And yeah, 115.1, very good lap time on the softs.
Yeah, and it will actually be hard for these guys to improve on that one. Currently on board with Ricky in the Ferrari. He's one of the title contenders, definitely. On a 115.9 now, and he is almost 2 tenths up on his lap time. But he will not be happy having to start in P4 with a medium runner in front of him. So he needs to improve even more in Sector 3. But is he gonna challenge for pole position? I don't think he will, and I don't think he will for P2. Mazza sets in a fast lap, P3 for him now on those softs. Is Ricky gonna improve? Yes, he is, but it's only gonna be P4. So close to his teammate, but not enough. And this is your qualifying over.
Yeah.
Everyone into the pits, and this is gonna be 2 Alfa Romeos, 2 Ferraris. And then Robert, the first one on the mediums with just Chris. In P6 on softs, Rage Snipes, good one for him as well on the mediums in P7. Steve will be happy with P8. And then Profotus and Jisoo round off the top 10, crucially on mediums as well.
A lot of people went on the mediums in the end, so this is going to make it interesting because not as many people on the softs as I thought there would be. And this is a clear indication of if we get no safety cars, which strategy is going to work out. The guys on those softs or the guys who started on those mediums, like GameNet. GameNet should be, in theory, the favourite for this win, bearing if there's no safety cars, any of that sort of malark. Because that one stop is, in theory, quicker, but that first few laps is so crucial, and I'm really excited to see how the overtake button gets used at the beginning. Will people get a bit greedy, and we see a bit of action in the first few laps?
Yeah, I'm tempted to use the overtake button at the start just to get a much better getaway. But I noticed that a lot of guys are using it as well, so that's your advantage already out of the window. But it will definitely be crucial for the guys on the mediums to get away really well, because they need to sort of stay within touching distance of those guys on the softs. Otherwise, maybe, I don't know if they're gonna go for the 1-stop or the 2-stop, but if they get away, then there's a big chance they will finish in front of them. So it will be definitely for Robert, but also Rage Snipes, crucial to stay in touch with the soft guys around them.
Yeah, must be someone still out on track at the moment. Oh, there's a few people still out on track, but the clock's just about to run down.
Yeah, it's rendered. It's stuck now on 1 second for me. That's great.
Yep, same.
Ah, now
There
we
we
go.
go.
Plus, I was already scared of having to restart the whole session, but it's all good.
It's Spain. It's Spain for you.
Yeah, exactly. 60 people watching right now. Welcome. Happy you are here with us. Get your predictions into the chat. I've already seen some predictions from Blaze. He said Medirobo P1, Dan P2, and Ricky P3. Get your predictions into the chat. If you win, you are a legend. So here we have it. Our qualifying results: P1 Medirobo, Dan P2, Mazza P3, Ricky P4, Robert P5, Chris P6, Rage Snipes P7, Steve P8, Roland P9, Jizzy P10, Connell P11, Kel Swag P12, Jay Prentice P13, Justin P14, Blades P15, Lars P16, Raidcon P17, Thibaut P18, I'm John P19, and Cygate rounds off the grid in P20 without having a lap time in. So it will be very interesting to see what the guys outside of the top 10 will want to. Of course, they got free choice of tire, so they can start on whatever tire they want. And to be honest, I think they will probably go for the mediums as well. I don't think you want to start on the hards around here. But I noticed during the practice race that the hards actually feel really well, so you could see a couple of guys go for that strategy. You will be a lot slower at the start of the race, but it will pay out at the end as you will be on the faster tire, of course, and with a much lighter car. We're waiting now for everyone to select their strategy, get their view in. We've given people 2 minutes of time to get prepared, maybe even go to the toilet before. You never know, it's a long race. And then we should be getting on the way shortly.
Yeah, we're looking at with the hard tire, very very good. Like you say, comfortable tire, easy to use, doesn't really drop off at all. But the problem with that hard tire, the risk of a safety car early on, it's just so much. It could fall away and not work out for you. So, like you said, there might be one or two that go for the gamble, but majority of this will be mediums, and everyone's being very, very good, very well behaved, not pressing X. Obviously, first day back at school, everyone's trying to behave well for this race.
Exactly. And as you say
on
that,
Cygate.
you put the
Cygate,
commentators
you're
going to
going to
Cygate, he's
detention.
back at it again.
He's going to detention. Cygate's going to detention. That's it. And now everyone follows suit. Yep. So I'm so excited. It's been a good month of, as much as it's been good having the summer on my Mondays and Tuesdays, it's not been the same without having contest to speed. And yeah, looking forward to what should be a great race at Barcelona.
Yeah, it definitely should be a good one. Yeah, Lewis, what's your prediction gonna be for today's race? Get your top 3 in.
Okay, so my top 3, I'm going to go with GameNet as the winner. If there is a safety car, it might change, but I think he's on the right strategy and he's high up and up on the grid. I think Matty has a great chance of P2. And I mean, P3, I fancy Ricky. With race pace, Ricky's always that kind of guy that can do the magic. So I'm going to go with that as my top 3.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty solid prediction, but I'm gonna change one thing in that one. I think Medirobo is gonna finish P1, Robert P2, and Ricky P3. I think Dan is gonna play maybe like a little bit of a rear gunner for Matty to pull away, get away on those softs, and I think Robert will struggle to get past the likes of Ricky and Mazza. It just depends on how much Medirobo is able to pull away from Robert, if the strategy is gonna work and if he's gonna go for the 1-stop or the 2-stop, because the 1-stop is possible around here, but you will be on very worn softs and very worn hards at the end of the race, but it is possible, so you never know.
Yeah. So in the chat, it's my soft hard winning strategy, even though I don't own the game.
And Tichy is in with the soft medium, and I know Tichy prefers that strategy, but I don't know if it is the quickest strategy around here.
Oh, Cookie, thanks for that. Lewis Round is British karting champion. Don't think I've ever heard him mention it. Strange.
Well, I didn't mention it until you mentioned it, Cookie, so that doesn't count.
Yeah, but now everyone understands the pressure I got to deal with having the British karting champ in my party. Like, it's so much pressure, you don't want to make a mistake.
Oh yeah. Because F1 2020 and karting so similar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's definitely the same.
No, the pressure's on me. It's all on me. No, so we just had the pit stop strategy there come up, but here we go.
Here we go, 5 red lights, and hopefully we don't have to glitch on this new game. 67 people watching. It's lights out, and not away we go. For now, Matty Robo is revving up. And it's a lights out, and away we go for the Spanish Grand Prix here for Season 6. It's a good start from Alfa Romeos, but a good start from both Ferraris as well. So the Racing Point gets put onto the grass, but Alfa Romeos get away clearly. It's 1-2 for Alfa Romeo, and P3 and P4 for Ferrari. Oh, and is that...
off in the background.
There's a McLaren off, indeed. It's Jay Prentice and JC, both brothers in the McLaren are off at turn 2, that is, and Profotis is involved with it as well.
And Sygate's only just left his grid slot.
Yeah, I know he's struggling with his pedals, so that may be some technical difficulties from his part. But a clean getaway for the leaders, and what a start by Just Chris. He's already up into P4, and Robert lost out. He is down to P7 with Steve in front of him in P6. So good start from Steve as well, and Ricky won't be too happy seeing a Williams in front of him.
Yeah, great, but it's still Grace off and Chris. GameNet lost a couple of places, now down P7, but crucially, he's staying with those guys, and I think he will have the pace. So he runs a bit deep, and that's going to allow the Racing Point to have a look, but with that corner being so long, you do run deep initially, you can sort of help straighten out that corner, you get good exit speed. Now into the final turn, let's see who uses any overtake down the straight. Obviously no DRS the next couple of laps. Here we go, Steve and GameNet looking to make the move now. Steve and GameNet almost side by side. Here we go to turn 1. Steve's going to lead. Oh, Steve just about. I can say leaves him enough room.
Oh, but he goes for the switchback. Round the outside, Fernando Alonso style, but he's not going to make it, unfortunately. That would have been a class move from Robert if he would have been able to put that one off.
Yeah, it was unlucky, but still early days for him, and he's desperate to get back into P6, moving back into P6, and as you can see, the top 5 are getting away with their battles.
Top 5 pulling away now, 1.1 second already between Ricky and Steve, so Steve needs to get the hammer down to make sure he will get DRS on the next lap. For now, Matty Robo is almost 1 second away from Dan. So he is looking to pull away. In fact, he is now 1.1 second away, as we got the predicted pit stop strategy in the bottom of your screen. Yeah, the guys on the softs will probably go for the 2-stop soft, medium, medium. You can also go for the soft, medium. Soft will be a tricky one, and maybe these guys will go for the soft hard. You just never know with these guys on a soft. What we do know is that Matty Robo puts in the fast lap. No, it's not, it's just Chris with a 1:19.2, and the top 5 is definitely pulling away with Steve now 1.8 seconds behind.
Yeah, and now this time around everyone being a little bit more sensible with the DRS, knowing that DRS will come into play next time by. So no one really doing anything as GameNet really struggles with the dirty air of Steve going through turn 3. Which you do notice a lot more in this game, I think, on heavy fuel loads. I feel like you feel the dirty air. When the cars get lighter, not so much.
Yeah, definitely.
Is joining them as well, so he has to be careful, GameNet, that he doesn't get caught out, because he wants to be the top medium runner. Because obviously you need that to give him track position later on in this race.
No, you don't. So Steve, he will try everything he can to keep those medium runners behind him, and Ricky got past just Chris, I think at turn 2. I don't know what happened. I think Chris must have made a mistake, because Ricky had a bit of a gap between both of them. But 1.2 seconds now between Ricky and his teammate in front, so Ricky won't get DRS, and I think this is the time for Chris to maybe think about making an overtake on the Ferrari ahead of him. Let's see how he does. He runs a little bit wide coming out of the last turn, and I think he is too far away to make a move on Ricky. Who is gonna make a move is Robert in the Haas on those medium tires. Important and crucial to get past Steve. Probably one of the easiest moves he's made. and probably one of the easiest moves he's gonna make today. And Rage Snipes is gonna follow as well down the inside of the Mercedes. He makes the job stick. Yes, he does. So Steve lost 2 places on 1 straight. That's unfortunate for him, but good for Robert and Rage Snipes on those medium tires.
And shout out to someone who's looking very confident at the moment is Connell. Guy on the hard tyres has moved up to P9 and is looking very, very good at the moment.
Yeah, already at the back of Steve. So he's definitely, he got some pace on those hards.
Those hards are good tyres. They run well, and those couple of laps he was able to get into position crucially. So as long as touch wood, there's no issues.
Oh,
No!
It's the commentator's curse. Lewis has done it again.
Oh my god.
Safety car. Safety car is out. Oh, this is crucial for the soft runners, because they can now go onto a different tire. But what are they gonna choose? Then one of them has to stay out, which is gonna be Dan. No, he's gonna follow. Alfa Romeo is gonna double stack.
Yeah, I think he still had to.
Yeah, Ricky as well. Yeah, they have to double stack, which is really unlucky. And look at Robert and Rage Snipes. They're happy with this one because they can go on with those mediums.
That's it. I mean, the only thing is, being a safety car though, it does slightly, although they get track position, well, I suppose it doesn't matter now because everyone's going to have to pit again, aren't they? So it's just neutralised everything up. I suppose the only thing is, and also, these guys have pitted a couple of laps earlier than they would have wanted to. So they only got 4 laps fresher mediums. Admittedly, the guys who started in the top 10, obviously, their tyres are a little bit older than 4 laps. But yeah, it's no matter what, if GameNet and all those guys on the mediums, it definitely has paid off. But I am so sorry for Connell.
He was on for such a good race, and then you can see him coming out of the fast right hand, and then he just loses it on the curb into the wall on the right hand side, and that's his race over. It's the dirty air, losing it on the curb, and then there's just nothing you can do. For now though, we've got Matty Robbo, the first one to make a pit stop in P8 with his teammate Dan in P12. Yeah, with the safety coming out, it's probably one of the worst things that could have happened to those soft runners, especially around this time in the race with only 5 laps in. They would have wanted to get a little bit later, I would say. But being on those hards, being on the medium actually for Matty. Oh yeah, everyone decided actually to go on for the medium, apart from Ricky. Is Ricky gonna make it on those hards till the end of the race? That's gonna be the question.
Could you have, like, Raycon is going to be the one we find out with that, because Raycon's just pitted again.
Just pitted, yeah, I think it could be a glitch where it says no, 0 laps on hards, where it could actually be a couple of more, or he actually wants to go onto a different tire. Oh yeah, it says 5 lap of mediums now. Yeah, so there's something wrong with Raycon his information.
He started on the hards, didn't he?
Yeah, he started on the hard, so he's now on fresh mediums, although it says 5 lap of mediums. Unless he actually is on a worn set of mediums, but I don't think that's the case.
No. I'm puzzled with the strategy of going onto the medium. I mean, if you're on the hards, you're better off, I suppose, going on your normal course, wouldn't it? Because he's going to have to pit again now. Going on the medium, because he's going to struggle to make the mediums last, so he would have been better just to stick with the hard tyre and pitted when he was going to pit.
Yeah, exactly.
I know it's not going to be ideal, but yeah, I think he's shot himself in the foot massively with that. Unless there's another safety car, which with my powers at the moment, it could very much happen. I've just got to select a driver.
Yeah, definitely.
How well they've done.
Yeah, I think with this. Oh, there's a. I'm John. Lost it under the safety car conditions. Racing Point driver is off at a fast chicane. As the safety car is in this lap, he is having to continue his race from the back of the grid now. Don't know what happened there. What I do know is that we're gonna get on the way as Robert is backing off the field quite a bit actually. Don't know what his strategy is. But fair enough. Ricky gets a 5-second time penalty for a collision with Steve. It's probably one of the first times Robert is actually gonna lead a safety car and people are struggling. Look at this, what is going on? As he's going now, I think. No, he's not. Ooh. When is Robert gonna go? A lot of people picking up 5 seconds.
Oh no. Collision.
As
And
I
again,
think Robert is gonna go now. Yes, he is. We're on the way again for the Spanish Grand Prix with a brilliant restart from H. Snipes. Is he immediately gonna go down the inside of Robert? He is looking with the overtake button enabled down the inside of the Haas. But he's not able to make the move stick.
And John's got a speeding penalty, but besides that, the Red Bull lining him up here. Kelster using his overtake. And this is what this is going to have with the F1 2020 game down the inside. The turn 4, they're side by side. But Snipes hangs it round the outside and holds on to P2 for now. We've got yellow, and it's a McLaren, I believe.
No, it's Dan.
Alpha.
It's Dan.
Oh no! What has happened to Dan? I'm guessing it was contact with a driver, but nightmare for Dan. Meanwhile, his teammate Matty is up in P5.
Then from P2 just a couple of laps ago, now down into P18. It's not going his way in the Alfa Romeo. But currently we're on board with Kelsensweg. 7 tenths behind Rage Times with Blades actually being in P4. Really well done from him. Matty Robo already up to P5 on those fresh mediums.
We've got a Haas with wing damage, and it's BMB Larsman.
Oh.
He hit the back of, I think he hit the back of the Ferrari. Musa might have been wrong, but Musa's getting his position back now. And you're just Chris also fighting his way through the field. Ricky not going that quickly. Obviously, Ricky decided to go on the hards. That's obviously why. Will he be able to make it to the end? That is going to be interesting to see. That is the big question for this race now.
Yeah, you can see it for Lars. He's got damage on the left hand side and he's actually holding the field up now in P10. As Steve is gonna go down the inside on those hards. Is Lars gonna hold it round the outside? Will be a struggle for the Dutchman, and he's not. And now he's got Ricky behind him, and Ricky wants to get past Lars as soon as possible. Is he gonna go for the move down the inside? Now Lars will definitely be struggling through the fast right-hander. Ricky chooses the outside. Is he gonna make the move stick? No, lost the fence. But actually Ricky wanted to make the switchback work, but hits the back of the Haas. Well, I don't think Ricky picked up any damage from it, but he's definitely struggling to get past Lars.
Yeah, he hasn't got wing damage, but yeah, just those hards. Initially not the best tyre, but we also got some of those issues. DRS is now enabled, so expect DRS next time by to be coming along. But GameNet pulling away, 8 tenths clear of Snipes. Kelster further 9 tenths back, and then you've got Matty, the first of the stoppers. Low spy.
Oh. Look at Massa, sorry to interrupt you. Massa is trying to go down the inside of Thibaut with the overtake button. Look at just Chris as well. Oh, but Massa makes a stick and Chris actually goes for the move on Thibaut as well. Is Chris gonna pull it off? Yes, he is. Thibaut losing 2 places in one corner. That's Massa up into P7 and Chris up into P8.
Now, we were saying about how the safety car helped the medium runners, the guys who started mediums. I don't know if it necessarily did, because Matty didn't, being the fact that safety car everyone slows everyone down, Matty therefore didn't lose as many places as he would have done under green flag conditions. Yes, he stopped earlier than he wanted to. However, he will still have those fresher tyres, and he will be able to stretch them a little bit further, which will mean that when he does go onto he can choose another set of mediums. The guys around him, ahead of him, will have to choose hards. So, Matty still, I think this safety car, if anything, probably has helped him. Because, like I said, he'll be able to just put another set of mediums on. The guys ahead of him will have to put that hard tyre on.
Yep, definitely. Rage Snipes now getting past Robert for the lead into this race. Rage Snipes now up into P1, Robert down to P2. And yeah, like you said, Matty Robo is the only one around him who can actually go for another set of mediums, which could be crucial at the end of the race, or with another safety car. But for now, the racing point up into P1, and it will be the case for Robert to stay with him at least until the pit stop going on to those hard tires. Kelsrek is struggling to keep up with the two ahead of them, as the gap now is 1.8 seconds to Robert in front. Matty Robo though is staying close to Kelsrek, and Pure Blades is struggling as well to keep up with the two ahead. So a little bit of gaps starting to form now, and Pure Blades is holding off Justin for P5 at this point in the race.
Yeah, Kelster struggling to keep Matty behind him. Is 0.5 of a second. Matty already with those fresher mediums starting to show his pace, because those mediums do drop off. Not quite as dramatic as the softs, but there is a decline in them. And you know, I'm starting to see that now with these guys on their 9-lap-old mediums in this race. But obviously they have done 3 further laps in quali as well. So they've done 11 laps now, more than that, 12 laps compared to Matty's 5 laps. And here we go, Matty with the overtake and the DRS side by side going into turn 1.
Oh, round the outside.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Oh, Kelster's
Kelster's
off.
gone off. He must have lost the rear end. He's got a bit of time, but he's going to lose a couple of places. Unfortunate for him. Down to P6.
Oh, and because of Kelsrek returning, Mazza had to run wide, and that's actually Chris up into P7 now as he got past Mazza.
Yeah.
And Robert got past Rage Snipes now again for the lead in this race.
Yeah, both sharing DRS and ERS duties, now overtake duties. 44% for GameNet. Snipes is a little bit more though, 80%, so Snipes really saving his ERS for the time being.
Yep, he really is, and it will be crucial now for Matty Robo to close in on these guys. 1.7 seconds now is the gap. We will keep an eye out on how that is gonna form. Justin got past Pure Blades. He's now 3.6 seconds behind Matty Robo, and it will be the case for Pure Blades to at least hang on to that 1 second winner to get DRS. Otherwise, Kelsrek is gonna get past. Oh, Justin made a mistake.
Yeah, big moment, big tank slapper. But look at this, Kelster's going to try and get past all 3 of them. I got a great helicopter shot here. Here comes Kelster though, down the inside. He's going to get 2 places, and Blades tries to hang around the outside though. Brilliant from Blades. Oh, fantastic. Blades keeps on hold of that P4. So Blades up in the dizzying heights P4, and now you've got a massive battle behind with the Williams and Chris and the Red Bulls. Kelster holds on for P5 for now.
What a move it would have been from Kelsrek if he made the move stick, but him now being in P5 wouldn't expect it probably a couple of corners ago. Blades back up into P4 with a little bit of a gap now to Kelsrek, who's struggling on exit. Chris is looking really thirsty to get past Red Bull in front of him, and it's a big train now for P4 actually goes on to P5.
Now is he out?
He's out.
Safety car.
He did a corner, but then the different way round.
Yeah, he almost held it.
Virtual
Now,
safety car. So what are the leaders gonna do?
It's around the lap tire. I pit. You know, it's close.
Definitely.
It's worth it.
Pit for hearts.
And that is what
Yeah.
they do.
Robert goes in. Rage Snipes follows. Matty Robo go in as well. Yeah, good move from Matty. He actually is gonna commit now to the hard tire, I think, and is gonna go till the end of this race.
Yeah, unfortunate for Matty, because I think that strategy later on would have worked. But look who this will help. Ricky. Oh, Ricky does. Is Ricky pitting? No, Ricky does not pit. Ricky is going to inherit the lead of this race. Well, Muzza does. Muzza stays out. But Ricky in P2, Steve P3. So those guys who pitted on the hards after that first safety car period are now ahead. However, unfortunately, those guys, they have not made as much of a gap as they would have wished to, because those guys who did pit took advantage of the ESC.
Yeah, definitely. And with these guys going maybe till the end of the race, talking about Ricky and Steve, we can actually see an interesting race ahead of us. But Robert and Rage Snipes are really close. If you look at the minimap on the bottom right, you can already see Robert and Rage Snipes going through the far chicane now onto the right hand as these guys enter the back straight. So it will be a stretch for them to stay ahead of the guys who are following now. But we'll have to wait and see how this race will follows. Mazza is still on those mediums in the lead of this race. Don't know what he's planning on as he stay out. And he stays out again, so he's definitely going to stretch those mediums.
I think for Mazza is the fact that he was further back, VSC would have ended. He wouldn't have gained as much time if he had pitted, so it caught him at the wrong time.
Oh, sorry to interrupt. I think that is... Oh, it's not. It was Cygate, but he already retired. I thought that was an Alpha Tauri off. I thought it was Blades, but he's still going on.
Yeah,
There's a Renault, the Renault, a McLaren into the pits. There's Jizzy, as he comes out of the pits now, just behind Justin in P8.
Yeah, so Mazza, if we look at Mazza, compared to, he's 9.6 clear of GameNet. So I guess Mazza's staying to the strategy of, he's got no ERS. But yeah, Mazza's going for the strategy of mediums for the remainder of this race. So it'll be interesting to see how Mazza does. He did it in the practice, obviously did hard mediums in the practice race. Very quick at the end. It's going to be interesting to see how he fares at the second half of the race.
Definitely currently on.
No ERS.
Jay Prentice almost lost it where Chris and Connell lost it as well, but he kept it on track. Don't know what that sound was as well, by the way. But I wanted to say I'm on board with Thibaut as he is in P10 now, taking the final point, but he's got Kelsweg behind, and I think Kelsweg is gonna pass him on the start-finish straight. Overtake enable, still 85% ERS left for the Dutchman. DRS enable, and this is gonna be an easy move for the Red Bull driver. Yes, it is. Got past Thibaut up into P10.
Great so far. So Ricky, 4.6. Ricky's actually closing in on Mazza now, despite Mazza being on those mediums. Dan gets a 3-second penalty. They'll be added at the end of the race. Steve keeping Ricky honest, to be fair. Not doing too badly, both on the same age of hard tyres. But now GameNet closing in on both on pair and
yeah,
the 3.
Look at this, by the way. Robert actually put away from Rage Snipes, met the Robocop pass, so Rage Snipes must have made a mistake somewhere, because he lost out on a lot of time.
Massive time. Massive amount of time.
Massive time loss for Rage Snipes, and it actually allows Robert to be in, you would say, effective lead of this race.
Yeah, well, obviously, apart from Mazza, Ricky and Steve don't need to pit again. Well, you'd think not. So it's going to be very close for them on tyres. So effectively, at the moment, Ricky is in the race, the effective race lead. Steve second, but the pace that GameNet and Matty are closing in, I can't see them holding their positions personally. So I think it's going to be between GameNet and Matty Robbo. So far, my top 3 prediction, it could work out. Still work out. Midpoint of the race now, lap 16 of 33. Meanwhile, Pure Blades, obviously, he chose to pit during that period, is on those hard tyres. It's worked out pretty well for him so far as well in P9, waiting for everything to finalise.
Yeah, definitely. We're sort of in a bit now where everyone is a little bit spread out, but it's all good for now. Robert in effectively, but Matty Robbo put in the fastest lap, last lap. Weird sentence. So he's definitely closing in on Robert ahead of him, and Rage Snipes just put in the fastest sector too, so he is closing back in on those guys. And then we got a big midfield battle like we have in the real F1 as well, from P7 onto, I would say, P15 Profodes. You can see them all on the minimap in the bottom right. Rage Snipes now actually puts in the fast level of the race with 1:18.8, and Blades picks up 3 seconds. Yeah, it will be the case for these midfield guys to pick up less penalties as possible to make sure you maybe can gain some positions at the end of the race. Like we said, the corner cutting is really strict around this game, around this track. So picking up only 3 or maybe 6 seconds of time penalties can definitely help your race at the end.
Yeah, and I'm just looking for the chat. There's a comment there, a rage spun in turn 4. And
Okay, copy. That's a weird place to lose it actually. Turn 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's, he probably ran wide onto the grass and lost it. I think that is probably what happened, because otherwise I can't see a way of how it would have happened.
Yeah, it can happen, but in that scenario, running a bit too deep. Looking like there's a close battle there.
Yeah, it's a close battle between Blades and Gelswag and Thibaut and Jay Prent. So we'll first of all look for the battle between Blades and Gelswag, because Gelswag is probably keen on getting past the Alpha Tower in front of him.
Blades though has got loads of ERS left. I don't know why he's not using now. He decided to use it. I think he used it a bit too late here, and he's going to be. I think Kelson's going to get past him. Oh, Kelson does a dummy. Down the inside we go, and he's made it stick.
He made it stick.
Yep. But not quite that time round.
Yeah, Blades defended the inside, but not enough. Gelswag got down the inside, made the move stick, and that's him up into P9 now. And Jay Prentice got past Thibaut for P11 in this race.
Blades though still got plenty of ERS, so he's been very, very efficient with it. So
oh, Thibaut off at the exit of turn 4 as well.
Yeah, another victim, but no damage, so he will live to fight another day.
As we are now gonna go on board with Robert, as he is almost within the 1 second window of Steve in front of him on those hards, sending some good lap times, which actually allows him to close up to Steve already. And you can see Ricky in front of him being in P2. He knows Mazza has to stop again in P1, so he can see the lead of this race.
He's doing a really good job.
Sorry to interrupt you. It's Pure Blades getting past Gelswag for P9 again. And it's job done for Blades. Well done to him. It's the AlphaTauri back up into P9 and Gelswag down to P10.
Yeah, great job by Blades there. So they're going to have a little battle with DRS, and you'd think it would hopefully try, if they didn't try and defend against each other, that might allow them to catch up into the back of Jizzy. Jizzy obviously not with any DRS.
Yeah, no DRS for Jizzy in a 3 second time penalty for Matty as Steve is off. The pressure got too much. Steve lost it coming out of the hairpin. And then Steve dropping now down to P5. So that's a free position for Robert and Matty. No work needed. And now Robert can hunt for Ricky. And Mazza's into the pits. Mazza is in.
Yeah, thought he would do. Yeah, the Mercedes there, Steve, got to be careful now. Those tyres don't overheat. So he has to be a little bit careful initially. Now, Mazza, where does this put him out of? I think he's going to get out in some clean air, you know.
In some clean
air.
air?
If he can get out ahead of Justin, that would be the dream. And I think he's going to do it. Just about.
He is.
That is perfect for his now. His Hunt B went for hards.
Yeah, I think because did he start on?
He started on softs.
He started on softs.
Yeah, he hasn't used.
Mazza, yeah, he is now for the Cold Rainbow, soft, medium, hard. So I don't know why he didn't go for another medium set.
Yeah. Because now that's that. Well, I can't see him. He's going to stay in sixth, you know, unless the guys ahead of him have an accident.
Yeah.
He's not going to hunt those guys down.
To be honest, I feel much more confident on the hards than on the medium, so maybe that could be a reason for him why he's opted to go for the hards. And of course, all the guys ahead of him are on hards as well, so he will definitely have some kind of pace advantage, as he's got the much fresher tires. So it's still not the big result out of doing as he sets the fastest sector too, so that actually shows how good his pace is. But yeah, weird choice. If he's got another set of mediums left, then you would expect him to go on to those mediums, but Yeah, he's on the hards, and we will have to wait and see what he can actually perform on those white wall tires.
Yeah, I think maybe it was an error. Maybe he forgot to change the tyre allocation because it might, obviously from the original strategy it may have already put the hard tyre. And yeah, because you can definitely, you can make the mediums last in the beginning stint from this point onwards on heavy fuel loads. So I thought mediums would be able to last now, but I'm guessing it was an error on his behalf. But yeah, like you said, he might be able to get the guys at the very front, but that means to say Ricky is our race leader and Rob is P2, 2.6 seconds behind on those fresher hards. But saying that, those hards are going to get pretty even in terms of pace. Despite the wear rate, Ricky is only going to really struggle towards the end. So during this period, it's not going to be too different between Ricky and Rob right now. Matty, though, he is closing in on Rob. It's now 1.8 the gap.
1.8 seconds now between Robert and Matty. I'm currently on board with Pure Blades as he almost lost it coming out of the fast right-hander. He is putting the pressure on to Jizzy in the McLaren. I was currently on board with Dan as well for a little bit, and he's actually doing a really good job on those hard tires. He got past Jay Prentice on the last lap, and now he can see the train in front of him as Blades is pushing GC through the final chicane. As Robert picked up 3 seconds, that could be crucial for the end of the race.
Blaze put it wouldn't be F1 without Ferrari strategy calls. Referring to Buzzer, I'm guessing.
Yeah, you never know. It's like I said, maybe he actually wanted to go onto those hard tires, which is fair enough. But yeah, like we said, we think it is a mistake, or I think it was...
Oh, we got a Renault off. It's Thibaut.
Thibaut is off. He's back at it again. Yeah, he's struggling this race. But yeah, someone said as well in the chat it could be a glitch as it happened to him in pre-season, so you never know. If he finishes on the podium, we can actually ask him during the interviews. But for now, he's in P6, and we can actually keep an eye out for him. 5 seconds is the gap to Steve, but he's rapidly closing in, so he's definitely looking to get P5, if not P4, as Rage Snipes is not far ahead of him.
And look, the top 3, Ricky, Matty, Robbo. Ricky, can he? I mean, he's keeping the gap the same, but we've still got 11 laps to go. Those tyres are going to be very old at that point. Are we going to have a Hamilton Bottas style puncher coming our way till the end of the race? Because they're going to be very close to that point.
Yeah, you would say that Ricky is going to go to the end now. He's sort of committed.
Yeah, definitely.
Where Robert and Matty are gonna have the much fresher tires. It will be very interesting to see as well what Matty and Robert are gonna do. Matty is now 1.4 seconds behind Robert, and we could actually see that he is closing in on the Haas driver in front of him. Are they gonna work together, or is Matty Robert gonna go for the overtake and actually try to get Ricky himself? That is gonna be the question. If they're gonna battle, they will lose time to the Ferrari ahead of him. I know both of them got penalties as well, and I haven't seen Ricky getting any penalties. Oh, he's got penalties. Okay, fair enough. So yeah, then it will be the case of who's got the most amount of seconds, and if they're gonna work together, yes or not.
So Ricky's definitely got a penalty at the moment. Blades 9 seconds of penalties. That's come through on the cost telemetry.
Talking about Pure Blades, being in P8 now, he has to defend from Kelsweg behind in P9. He's very low on the ERS, and Kelsweg is gonna go for the inside again. Makes the move stick. No, he's not. He didn't make the move stick. It's Pure Blades round the outside again. And he actually defends for P8. Brilliant defending from Blades in the Alpha Tauri. But now he needs to watch out for Kelsweg again. As he goes for the move, they make contact. And it's actually Dan now up into P9. Smart play from Dan. And Blade still holding on to that P8. Well done.
Yeah, very great driving, and Blade's doing his favourite move of sticking around the outside of turn 1, and turn 2 was able to hold on. No blades for now, where he does look like he's struggling a little bit with those hard tyres, a little bit twitchy, a bit nervy under the steering, very hesitant, whilst Dan, nice and smooth. Yeah, Blades' rear end is all over the place right now. On board of Dan, he's squirming around the corners. And I feel Dan, if he can get close enough, he goes a little bit deep, has to back out. Blades actually has a really good final corner, which probably will allow him to stay ahead of Dan, where Dan has got some mega straight line speed. Blades is not using overtake either. And that OP effectiveness allows Dan into P8.
So Dan recovering from the mistake he made in turn 4 quite a few laps ago. We got Fruit from the chat, he says Blades has got some original lines, not gonna lie. Yeah, I saw him doing some weird lines indeed, but it's what you prefer, and he's actually doing okay being in P9, so it actually helps him, I would say. But yeah, then up into P8, and Pure Blades now having to defend from Keltswag again, as we got yellow in sector 2. I think that is Thibaut again on his fresh soft tires. Oh, that was Jay Prentice getting a little bit twitchy on the exit. Oh, actually he got past Keltswag. That's why we saw him getting a little bit out of shape. Robert puts in the fast lap of the race, 1:18.1. That's a quick lap time, and actually is almost, in fact he is within a 1 second of Ricky, and he pulled away from Matty Robbo.
Yeah, it was a mega lap. He still got quite a bit of overtake. In my practice race with him, he could just pull out a lap. It's really good, and then he wouldn't, and then he'd be back to normal. But at the moment, again, this lap is looking really good. He's decided to, or he just feels happy with the balance right now. And he is dropping Matty, and it's got right over the back of Ricky now. Those hards on Ricky's car starting to fall away a little bit on performance.
Yep, and with 7 laps to go, it will be a very big stretch for the Ferrari driver, as you can already see Matty Robbo following as well. And at the back of your screens you could see the pink Mercedes of Rage Snipes following as well. I don't know if Rage Snipes is gonna make it. He has a gap of 7 seconds now to Ricky, and will actually keep it at the leader now, where we can actually see if he's gonna close in, yes or not. Robert with DRS now, is he gonna go for the move?
He's not using overtakes,
he's
just gonna save it.
He's actually gonna save it, and I think he's gonna wait for the next lap, as he doesn't want Matty Robbo to close in that much, I would assume. So he needs to get past as quickly as possible, otherwise Matty Robbo will get DRS as well.
That's right. Yeah, I think Matty definitely has the speed to catch Ricky before the end of this race. Slowly bringing that down, and if they did battle, Ricky might, it depends on what Ricky wants to do. Is he thinking of the long game? In which case, first round of the championship, don't try and battle. Oh, Rob has a moment, back end. Lost a couple of attempts there, but he'll still be in the DRS zone. Yeah, you see Matty now is 1.4. Yeah, Matty's definitely closing in, so if you're Rob, you want to make the move now. Ricky runs wide. Yeah, Ricky really struggling with those hards now. He just can't get the car to turn, he can't get the traction. And Matty is closing right on in him. I think Ricky's hit the cliff here. Ricky's got no speed whatsoever. Matty's caught them up, both of them up massively. Matty has got DRS as well. So we got a 3-way battle here, and I think Ricky, is he going to defend? He's looking for it. No, he's not going to do it. And Rob takes the lead.
Robert into the lead of this race, and it's crucial for him now to get away, as Ricky is between him and Matty, to sort of create a gap. Matty Robbo will be seeing this, and he will be saying to himself that he needs to get past Ricky as soon as possible. Robert with the fastest sector 1 as well. He is definitely getting the hammer down.
The thing is, Ricky though, he's smart driver. He would have looked, okay, I'm going to save my ERS and try and stick with you, and try and get the DRS in the next sector, and then try and get the DRS in the sector after that as well. Even with those tyres, he's still going to have DRS in the next, on this back straight here. If I was him, I'd use a bit of overtake in the last sector just to stay within that 1 second barrier and just try, if I can.
Yeah, but this is where the grip is and the traction is crucial. You can actually see Robert pulling away. Oh, we got a McLaren off at turn 3. That is Jizzy. But no safety car as he is back on the way. You can actually see it on the minimap in the bottom right. Jizzy off. Oh, there's a racing point off as well.
Yeah.
I'm John.
As Matty goes past Ricky. There we go.
1.3 seconds between Robert and Matty.
Yeah, so far this is my top 3. Apart from Ricky. Did I put Ricky as P3 or P2? I can't remember now,
If Matty overtakes Robert, it's my top 3 prediction, right?
Yeah, so here we go. Yeah, this is it.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, we get to see. We're not too bad at making predictions here.
Look at H Snipes as well. 2.8, 2.7 behind Ricky.
I just saw on the circuit map a McLaren in the middle of nowhere on the map, and that's because they decided to use the old one. When you come out of just beginning of sector 3, that tight left-hander, you use the old section of the track, which isn't as tight.
Which is an interesting line.
Yeah, it's not the quickest.
Oh, definitely not.
As I just said, the fastest second sector. He's got past Steve, and he's 5 seconds behind Rage. So he's going to be able to catch him the remaining laps. Matty very close, just not quite in the DRS yet. Both are on identical ERS as well. Game on.
Game is on. Can you actually check the penalty situation between the leaders in this race? Because that could play a crucial factor. At the end of lap 33, it's lap 30 now, 3 laps to go, 4 including this one. And Matty Robo is 1.1 seconds clear, no 1.8 seconds clear of Ricky and 1 second behind Robert. It's gonna go down to the wire. And I still don't know who's gonna take this win. Ricky picks up 3 seconds, going through the fast chicane.
Right, I'm just looking. Matty's got 3 seconds. I'm not sure whether Robert has.
Yeah, Robert has 3 seconds as well. I can see it in the chat now. So both on 3 seconds. So that's equal.
Yes, he does. You're right.
So both English is a hard language. Both on 3 seconds of time penalties. As Matty Robo got a terrible exit coming off the chicane, but still got DRS. So he's actually closing in now on Robert. He needs to save his DRS. He will probably save it for the last lap.
DRS still makes a big difference. Both guys are saving their ERS. 3 to go.
Going on board with Blades now as he's still being in that P9. And Jay Prentice now being in P10 is looking to get past, but I don't think he is close enough to make a move this time. No, he's not, so we quickly go back to the lead of this race. With Matty now being within 0.3 of a second. Robert disconnects!
Oh no!
Oh, no way!
The luck.
No flipping way.
Right at the end. And now, if you're Matty Robbo, your heart has just gone up a couple of extra 10 beats a minute here. Making up probably 20 beats a minute.
Oh my days, heartbreak situation we have here. Being in the lead of the race, getting disconnected. We've seen it with Ella Takir in season 4 in tier 1, where actually me and Fruitful got the benefit from. But this is...
I'm gonna check. Has Rage... I think Rage has got penalties to fair. I'm sure he has.
He must have some, but I think he should be.
He does.
Yes, 3 seconds.
3 seconds. Okay, so he's on the same amount of Ricky at least. So getting past Ricky would actually provide him up into P2.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got 3 seconds. Dan's got 3 seconds, and Ricky has 3 seconds as well. So, but all three of these guys, you know, they can't afford any more penalties. So it's all about taking it home.
Oh,
Yellows.
Chizzy!
Yeah, retired. It's too late for a safety car.
You see him there in the wall. That's a weird place to lose it. But this is Chizzy out of this race.
And another yellow. We got a Mercedes off. Mercedes spun. Is that Steve? Yeah, it is. It's Steve.
No
Steve's spun
way,
off again.
Steve!
Same place. Has he got a puncher? He's very slow.
Rage Snipes, by the way, gets past Ricky for P2 in this race.
Wow.
On the last lap. And then gets past Steve in the final chicane, which brings him up into P7.
Yeah, Steve's got no grip on those mediums, and Blades just goes soaring past him. Steve's hards are completely gone. So, you know, he was at the same lap as in typical Mercedes style, right at the end of the race. The tyres given up.
Oh, Blades holding on round the outside. He needs to defend from Jay Prentice, who actually goes down the inside around turn 3. He's not gonna make it stick. Will he have enough ERS to do it down the inside? Blades defense again. Jay Prentice has to go around the outside the long way. He is not gonna make it stick. Well, he is actually gonna go for the switchback now. He turns into the round outside. Blades defense again. Switchback again for Jay Prentice. And I don't think he's gonna make it stick. Blades chooses the inside, and Jay Prentice now has to give up. As we quickly have to go to the lead of this race. Medi Robo comes through the final chicane with Rage Snipes only 8 tenths behind, but Medi Robo is gonna take the first victory in season 6 for AU3. Rage Snipes P2, Ricky P3, and Massa taking a brilliant P4 with
P3.
the unluckiest drive. P3 on penalties.
Ricky's got loads of penalties.
Ricky
Look
with
at that.
loads of penalties, and Robo the unluckiest driver on this grid being in P5. Justin is gonna take P6 just in front of Dan, question mark. Yes, he is. And Pure Blades brilliant defending brings him up into P. No, it doesn't. A lot of penalties for Blades. P8 for Jay Prentice, P9 for Kelswag, P10 for Pure Blades, as we're waiting for Profodus now to get past. And Steve just completely lost it.
Yeah,
From
he's got-
P6 in this race, or P7 to P14 in only the span of 2 laps.
I think he's got a puncher. No, he's got no puncher, he's just had wing damage. He's had it off, it's like those mediums have just gone completely toast. So the last couple of laps, Steve has completely lost it.
Oh my days. On Robert his screen he won. It's a glitch
Oh, no.
in the thing. Oh my days. Okay, yeah.
It's what so that's awkward. Because I
Yeah.
wonder if Matty saw, if Matty saw the same as what we saw, which I think he will, Matty right now is thinking he's the winner.
Which I think he is.
Yeah.
Because only Robert was the one who got the glitch. So yeah, we can't go with his thing. But that is even more unlucky. Yeah, oh my days. That's awful. That's even worse than getting disconnected, thinking you got to win and then at the end you don't.
Yeah.
So here we have it. Or unexpected podium. With Medi Robo being in P1, Rage Snipes P2 and Mazza taking P3. So we can actually ask him now if it was a glitch or actually a strategy to go on through the hard tires.
Yeah. So yeah, well, at least we got one. We got to get one thing sorted out.
Yeah,
And hopefully later on we
exactly.
can get Rob's. Woo.
So here we have it. Mazza actually without any penalties together with Roland. Fair play to them. But it's Medi Robo, your race winner for today's Grand Prix. Rage Snipes P2, Mazza P3, Ricky P4, Robert P5 with the unlucky disconnect. Justin P6, then P7, Jay Prentice P8, Kelswag P9 and Blades taking the final point. Well done to him. Roland won't be happy with his debut in Tier 3, P11, Raidcon P12, Thibaut P13, Lars P14, Steve P15, I'm Jean P16 as a replacement of Sneaky Tom, Saige P17, JC P18, Just Chris P19 and Connell P20, both Williams with a terrible start of this season.
In the end, fastest lap went to who? It went to Jizzy, 117 dead, so there is no fastest lap points handed out today.
No fast lap points, so a full 25 points from Eddie Robo, taking a 7-point advantage over Ray Snipes in P2 and a 10-point advantage over Mazza in P3. Yeah, I can definitely tell that Eddie Robo will be very happy. Dan will probably be disappointed being in P7, knowing that he had actually a good pace around here. But him being in P7 and Eddie Robo in P1, I think they will take the lead in this Constructors Championship. So I think they will be happy about that one. I will invite these guys to the party.
It's got the victory today.
Definitely, and they're looking like a really strong team together with the Forest. Oh, actually, the Forest are leading constructors being in P3 and P4. But after that, I think we've got the Alfa Romeo.
Bonjour, lads.
Hello, hello. It's
Hello.
Eddie Robo and Mazza
How are we
joining
diddling?
now.
I am shaking.
I don't
I'm
know
gonna say-
if Rage Snipes is gonna join.
I don't know, but I'm doing. I'm shutting Lewis up next week.
Yeah,
because as soon as he
there he is.
mentioned Silverstone on a tyre blowout, my last lap I did 4 seconds lap slower than what I've ever done. I was on
Wow.
81%. I was like, don't you
To be
dare.
fair,
I'm
well,
glad that I'm glad that I
Rick-
want your.
Ricky boxed under the first safety car.
Yeah.
So he was on the hard all the way to the end, and I think he had like 93% wear.
Oh my days, that was
Well,
close.
Steve in the end, Steve's tyres completely went. Like he didn't have a puncher, but he just lost it. Like
Just lost it.
absolutely.
Yeah, I just lost it. Yeah.
Well done, Snipes.
Thanks.
Yeah, if you guys can all make sure your audio isn't allowed to be shared, then we can start with
Oh,
the
we'll find
interview
out,
show
shall we?
shortly. Yeah, I think it should be all good.
Yeah, always allow.
Good, good, good. Then we will start off with you, Mazza, being in P3. First of all, big respect for keeping it clear on penalties. No penalties for you in this race, which is actually probably a bigger achievement than taking P1 in this race. Yeah, it actually gave you the last podium spot, but the question from me and Lewis is, did you actually meant to go onto the hard tyre at the end of the race, or was it a mistake
So-
from your part?
So it was a kind of a bit of a mix-up. So I realised that the medium set that I had when coming into pit entry was a worn set from quali, and I did 3 runs on the medium to try and get a medium start. So I realised that they must have been on probably 10, 11, 12% wear already, and I knew there was still a long way to go. So I quickly changed to the hard, just because I had to push. And I didn't think the mediums would last, so I may have been able to catch the back of them, but I think I would have been screaming at the end. So I just went for the hards and just try my luck.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you actually had some brilliant pace on those hards and managed to get your way back onto the podium again. So yeah, really well done. And with Ricky, your teammate, being in P4, you actually take the constructors' lead, I would say.
I hope so. It'd be a good start.
It will be close with the Alfa Romeos taking P1 and
Yeah.
P7, but definitely a good start of the season, and congratulations on the podium spot.
Thank you very much, Thomas.
Going on to P2 in this race, Wade Snipes. On your
Yeah.
debut, taking P2, of course you did win the race at Zandvoort last week, so we already expected you to be up there, and actually showing some great pace. Happy with the P2, or were you hoping
Yeah,
for the win?
I'm sure happy. I think I could have won the race if I didn't spin. But yeah, unfortunate about Robert, about game nets, so his connection. And yeah, great race from who was P1?
Matty.
Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, and yeah, the great race. I was at the back at the last lap, but I'm very happy with my P2. So, yeah.
Yeah, we saw you suddenly dropping down the field. Did you make a mistake when
Yeah,
you
I
made
made
your
a
pit stop?
spin.
Oh,
No, I
you're
made a
coming out
spin,
of turn 4, I would say, or
Turn 2, I
Turn two.
think.
turn 2? Ah,
Because I
okay.
nearly collected him. That's how I know.
Yeah, fair enough. Because suddenly we saw a gap between you and Robert, and Matty overtaking you. So yeah, we were wondering like what have happened. But yeah, fair enough. Great recovery, and congratulations on the P2, mate. Really well done.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
well done, mate. You got some good pace there, pal.
Really good.
Yeah, thank you.
And then going on to our race winner, Matty. Congratulations,
Yeah.
first of all, brilliant race, and it looked like it would have been a thriller till the end of the race, but then Robert disconnected. What went through your mind when you saw him disconnecting?
Just finish up. Sorry, I had a visitor. Just to see how it was going on. KV was race engineering, so props to him, just giving us like, the key information. I knew Robert had 3 seconds, so did I, so I was just hoping, really, just to draw on the back of him. Ricky sort of helped with his tyres, slowing him down a bit. And yeah, just it would have been interesting. Would have been nice because we had a nice battle last week as well at Zandvoort, so it would have been interesting to see how well it played out. And yeah, those tyres were not good at the end. Just coasted around the last lap.
Yeah, I think if the race would have went on 1 lap longer, then Ray Snipes would have got past you
I
on those tires.
was taking it very cautiously. I saw it nearly on 80%. I was like, don't fancy dragging this to the line during a Hamilton. So I'll just try and just conserve and not pick up an extra warning as well, because apparently it was a warning and 2 penalties each. So
Fair enough. Yeah, so both on the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, but fair enough, you took the win. First 25 points in the bag, championship leader going into China next week. Must
Can we finish
feel...
the season now?
COVID.
COVID has kicked in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, but yeah, it must have been... I don't think you could have wished for a better start of this season. Maybe with Dan being up there a little bit higher, because he definitely showed the pace, got unlucky with the spun. But yeah, congratulations on the P1 championship leader, and going into next week should be a good one.
Cheers, boys. Thanks for comms as always.
Yeah,
No problem.
cheers,
It's a
lad.
pleasure.
Well done, guys, on the podium. Good stuff.
But yeah, well done, podium boys. I'm so buzzing I didn't get a penalty. Like, I genuinely did not think I would go into that race not getting 1 penalty. But I love penalties.
Yeah, really well done, mate. Big respect. So yeah, with that, it rounds off today's AU3 race. Congratulations again on the podium runners. Everyone in the chat, thank you very much for watching, and of course Lewis, thank you for joining the commentary box with me. It was a pleasure as always.
Yeah, it's great to be back, boys. Cheers,
Hello,
very
hello.
here we come. We've got the whole season ahead. Thank you very much, and look forward to next week.
Definitely. So if you don't want to miss anything from Console Speed, make sure to drop a follow or even a subscription. If you want to buy any Console Speed merch, go check out our shop in the description. Stay in touch with us on social media, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. And as I always say, have a good one, stay safe and goodbye.